Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. Oh, a lot more people come into the room. Hey, Jasmine. Thank you so much for being here. I know I completely ditched you guys yesterday. Sorry. Hey, Babs. Hey, Marshmallow. Hey, Jocelyn. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jocelyn. I just got on a comfy robe. It has a hood that I got in 2018. The reason why I like link this to 2018 because 2018 was a really good year for me, and so I remember all the things that happened to me, and one of them was this robe that a friend of mine got us took us on a girls trip. And God is this? Hey, JW Joy. Yeah, super warm. So whenever I'm in the house and I'm like, oh, it's cold, but I don't want to like layer up, I put this on. 10 people in the room. We'll get started when we get to 20 people. 13. So we gotta let me queue up everything. Oh, we're at 19. Dang, I'm not even finished chewing. You guys don't want to hear me chew. Also, rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara. She was 71 years old. Now, as a person whose aunts and parents are in their 70s, I'm not expecting someone in their 70s to go. I don't know how all of y'all feel. I don't know how the age group in which I'm talking to, but I assume the people who watch me are between the ages of 32 and 65. Women, a lot of you from Canada. And she's Canadian. 71? Oh, Babs, you're 71? What is this picture? Is this you? Or is this your child? Or is this you a couple years ago? Anyways, I don't expect anyone in their 70s. To me, 70s is like their grandparents, but they're not dying. And she's a rich person. So in my mind, she was suffering from something. Like she just didn't die of natural causes. You don't die of natural causes at 71 in the year of our Lord 2026. We have so much technology. We have too much medical advancements for people to just be like dying at 71. Like, I think if you unless you have, like, some kind of medical condition and or you get cancer, which any that affects anyone at any age, or, like, you don't die of natural causes anymore in your 70s. Now, I don't know what her private life was like, and I will say that when she was in Schitt's Creek, I was a little bit like, "Wow, she's one of the only celebrities that I've seen who's done nothing to their face." In fact, it looks like Catherine O'Hara did nothing but sit in the sun. Not a sunscreen to be had. But I was like, "That's just the way she's aging, and she's going out gracefully." The same way that, like, I think Diane not Diane Keaton. Yeah, Diane Keaton is. There's another actress who's doing the same thing. She played a character named Frances in a movie. I can't remember her. But there are specific actresses who are choosing not to get any work done to their face. Not Jane Fonda, but like there are other people. But so I'm like, to me, if you pass away after 85, okay. 71 is too fucking young. It's too young. It's too young for someone with means and money. Oh, yeah, it was Jessica Lange in her 70s, but Jessica Lange died in the 90s, no? Oh, no, Jessica Lange, sorry, I was thinking of Jessica Tandy. I was thinking of Driving Miss Daisy Jessica. Is that Wait a minute, who was the cast of Driving Miss Daisy? Girl, Driving Miss Daisy came out in 1989? Morgan Freeman been old my entire life. Driving Miss Daisy came out in 1989, and I'm talking to you guys about it like it came out in 2001. That's how fresh it is in my mind. You said Jessica Lange, and I was like, "Oh, Jessica Tandy." Like I'm not talking to somebody who went on to meet him in 92. Like, I was surprised by Diane Keaton's death too. I can't believe I just referenced Jessica Tandy. I mean, she was one of the greats growing up, but like no one talks about Jessica Tandy anymore. And I just referenced her like she's still on stage. You know what I mean? That's yeah. Jessica Lange is like 77 or 78. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Jessica Tandy. I love me some Jessica Tandy. I loved her. Oh, I love me some Jessica Tandy, girl. A lot of Jessicas. And Jessica's a young name. Did you hear that Jessica is the new Karen? Like now they're calling women instead of calling them Karens, they're calling them Jessicas. Jessica. Okay. Anyways, I'm going all over the place. But yeah, Diane Keaton surprised me. But Catherine O'Hara? Was it O'Hare? O'Hara? I don't know. I mean, a lot of people may not know her off of just like whatever, but Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas, Best in Show, Schitt's Creek. I mean, there was stuff in between, obviously. But she is one of the best like actresses that are not super famous and not well known, even though they've done so much quality and awesome work. You know what I mean? Anyways, hi Chantal. So anyways, hi Mickey. I'm beside myself. O'Hara. I'm beside myself with Catherine O'Hara. Like I woke up and I was like, who? Who went on to meet him? Too young at 71. That's like crazy young. That's crazy. So I know her family probably wants privacy and whatever, but I feel like you can't die of natural causes at 71 unless you've been drinking and smoking. I mean, and smoking a lot of different things. I mean, and menopause hit and took every single calcium in all her bones. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I don't need to know what happened, but I just can't believe it was of natural causes. Jessica Lange is 77 or 78. God bless her. God bless her. You know what I mean? I love me some Jessica Lange. If you guys don't know who Jessica Lange is, she was in American Horror Story. That's the most recent thing you'll see her in. Or you recognize her from. She's another great. A lot of great Jessicas. Yeah. So, anyways, just wanted to say shout out to her. That's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. I can't believe I said Jessica Tandy. All right. Well, let's get. Oh, it's already 10? Jeez. I was like, oh, let's get started at 9. And I look down and it is just flying by us. We'll go at 10:30. 9 seconds. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 8, Episode 9, Initial Descent. My name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiance, Love After Lockup, which apparently is on and I haven't been doing it, and other content like that. So if you are all interested in that content and you want to subscribe to my channel, please go on ahead and do so. If you get the hee hee ha ha's while watching this and you want to give your girl a tip, you can do so with the options down below. Okay, let's jump right into this episode. And let's start with arguably the most boring couple that we have in this episode. And that is Emma and Zied. You know, they're boring, but let's just get them done. Emma does her very best to keep us entertained. Do you not think so? It's not as good as the others because she's not old enough, wise enough. Her relationship with Zied is tenuous, to say the least, but she really does attempt to keep us interested. And we are just barely, just barely. If she would give us a little bit more diversity in maybe her wigs or her eye makeup, I would be a little bit more interested. Okay, so he's tired. He needs sleep. This is after him berating her and belittling her in front of his friends, telling his friends that she doesn't respect him because she speaks too fast and doesn't let him finish his thoughts, or where he loses his English. So she's like, you just said 0% in front of your friends. That is crazy. I've been here for X amount of days. When I got on the plane, you were talking to me like you wanted to marry me immediately. So I don't know what's going on. And so I'm going to walk away now. Bye. And he's like, good night. And she leaves. And he's like, I said good night. She's like, I heard you. And keeps going. The next morning, though, the birds are chirping and tea is served. So I need to stay in whatever situation this is. Okay. This seems like an ideal situation if you were to go on a trip with somebody. You don't have to go on a trip with somebody. I prefer not to, but sometimes it makes more sense financially and safety wise to go on a trip with somebody. So if you were to go on a trip with somebody and you're like, I need my own space, you can still meet them in the garden of the hotel with the house mom who's cooking and making tea. That is quality service. And it's also like, I need a local, okay? I want a local house mom. I want her to get there at 7, so that I can eat by 8. And then she can leave. She can go leave in the middle of the day. She don't have to worry about lunch. She don't have to worry about lunch. I'll go out and get lunch. But dinner, though, she got to come back and make me some tangine chicken. She got to come back and make me the tangine chicken, though. But anyways, so they have tea and they sit down and he's like feeling better or whatever. And she's like, you've been rude to me ever since I got here. Like the moment I stepped off the plane, you've been embarrassed. You have been telling me that all of a sudden you're a Muslim man. But when we were over the phone and we were talking via text, you acted like everything was going to be perfect here. And so I just need to better understand like where you're coming from and why you're behaving this way. And he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm sorry. And I think that's really big of him to acknowledge the fact that he thought that he could deal with her until she got there half naked and started demanding kisses from him and touches. And I think there is this, and we see this with all the Arab men who are Muslim, that there's, or even who are not, who are deeply Catholic, like what's his face. There are just, they can talk a big game because it's not real. But once you touch down in their country, they can't have your germies all over them. Okay. Because at the end of the day, their parents might see this. And he couldn't have it. He's like, not only are my parents going to possibly see this one day, someone in the family's going to possibly see this someday. Also, there's a full camera crew of 8 people following us around. You cannot be on me touching me. I'm so sorry. I thought I could, but I can't. Okay. He's probably like, I didn't realize how big the crew was going to be, even though they had to do interviews with him before. So maybe, I don't know. But anyway, so he then gets up the next day, or I don't know, at some point he decides he's going to cook for her. It's that night. And he goes in with the house mom and he helps the house mom cook, or maybe that's the morning of, who knows. There's a point where he gets with that house mom and he cooks a breakfast for her and she's really happy about it. But anyway, he then tells her that he loves her 70%. And it's funny because she keeps trying to get percentages out of him to like better understand where they stand, which I think is really honest of her because she's like, I need to know where you stand because you were at 0%. So I need to better understand where you're standing. And he's like, okay, fine. If you want a percentage, this is what I say. The truth is that he's not going to marry her. She came there half naked. She's not going to convert. The only thing that she kind of has for her is that she actually has her real hair covered up. Now, I don't know if the wig serves the same purpose as the hijab, the way the wig serves the same purpose in the Orthodox Jewish community, because let me tell you about these Orthodox Jewish ladies. They may not show their natural hair because that's against the rules, but they will put on a bust down lace. Okay? That lace will be busted down and they will have on their pleated skirts, their flats, their oddly non-skin colored tones tights, be covered from head to toe, wig, headband, or beret. I mean, the New York Hasidic Jewish women, the rich ones, because let's just stick with the rich ones. I mean, come out with a bust down lace wig, like what? Blonde highlights and everything. So I don't know if it serves the same purpose. And when they're not wearing if they're not wearing their wig, they do have on a scarf. Not to be confused with the hijab, but a scarf. They have a scarf just like mine, which can go either way, really. But you know, funny how those two Abrahamic religions that come out of the Middle East both have an edict where women need to cover their hair. Interesting, huh? Just interesting, but totally different. So, he gets the word dessert and desert mixed up, which makes absolute sense. Absolute. In English, and I can't speak for any other language. I mean, I mildly can speak for Spanish. In English, there are so many words that are the same word, same sound, like pear and pear, that are spelled differently. Sometimes they're not even spelled differently. Sometimes they are, like there, and there. There, and there. Pear. Desert and dessert. There are so many words like that in English that I understand why people think English is very hard to learn. Absolutely. Rain. The kingdoms, he reigned over the people. Pull in those reins. It is raining outside. Okay, there are so many of them. And then sometimes the words don't even follow the same English grammatic like policies, rules, like pair and pair, because pair, like a pair of shoes, is spelled the way that you're supposed to say the word pair based on the language rules. But if you say pear like the fruit, it really should be pronounced pear. But then that's also another thing too. That's where the wood goes into the water. It's a pier. There's too much going on, you guys. Listen, this language is crazy. And so she giggles about it, but I really in that moment wanted her to be like, babe, you're absolutely right. Those are exactly the same words, except for one has an extra S in it. It's like decent and descent. Descendant. Descendant is different than descend. It's not that far off. So I understand why. Okay. So anyways, I have that wordplay for you. She's like, oh my God, the thing I always want to do my whole entire life is go camel riding. And I was like, that's the thing you always want to do in your entire life? Interesting. So this the next day. It's her birthday. She's in a good mood. And they're going to go on a romantic getaway. The cameras come into her room because she's packing up. And they're like, what are you doing? Where are you going? She's like, we're going on a romantic getaway. She's like, I have something to tell you. And this is where I didn't take a picture of it, you guys, but this is where I feel like after this incident, this is where she was like, oh, I'm going full Arab right now. I'm not going to cover my hair, but my eyeliner will be thicker than you have ever seen it. She was like, I'm in Morocco. I'm going to put kohol on my kohol. Khol. Kohol. Her eyeliner is so bloody thick. Again, I did not take a picture of it, but it is so thick in this episode. This is what him. Also, his hair. He's doing the most with his hair. Okay. He said, "Listen, I'm gonna rock it while I got it. I hope you like it." He's really excited to take her to wherever it is, uh, their desert to have dessert and desert. So, anyways, she's like, "So yesterday he was in a good mood." Oh, let me take this picture now. So yesterday he was in a good mood, and we made out, and then we had sex twice. Don't worry, it's not small. It's a handful. It's fine. It's not small. It's not teeny tiny, but it's it's one handful. It's fine. I can work with it. It's fine. We're both skinny. It works. And she's like, I think he's just like really like embarrassed and like because of his religion and how religious he is, like he doesn't want people to know. But I had to tell somebody. So I'm telling the entire United States and you guys, but also the entire United States, she told. She told the entire US of A and Canada. Hey, Canucks. Okay. That he had premarital sex with her. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. And so then that's the end of their segment, I think, right? Boring. Okay. Let's move on. Should we save Liar Liar to the end? Oh, let's do Laura and Birkin because they are also oddly boring. And I'm going to have a controversial take on this. I know it. And you guys are going to be like, wah. You guys are going to try to shame me because that's what you do. You shame me when you try to gaslight me into believing that people walking around with fur coats isn't an anomaly. Okay, so we've got our Bridget Joneses and her skinny diary. So they are hot off the heels of, her finding out that he, well, no, they haven't found out yet. Hot off the heels of meeting his friends, right? And so she says, it's going okay, but there's something going on. Yesterday I felt like they were talking about something or talking about me and he didn't translate. So I don't know what's happening. And I feel like he's keeping another secret besides the fact that he's, broke. And she's also like, he's planned this super romantic and secret getaway, which I feel like the timing of it is suspicious. It feels like he's trying to kind of win me over or like sweep what the issues are underneath the rug. And I said to myself, are you paying for these romantic getaways or is he? Who's paying for it? Because if you're not paying for it, just shut up and drive. Just accept what's going on. So they get in the car. She forgets her brush. He makes a joke that she doesn't need one. She's like, I absolutely need a brush. And I was like, girl, they have brushes in Turkey. Eh? You'll be able to find one. Don't worry. Don't trip. And they end up going to like something that she loves, which is a castle by the sea. And I said to myself, you know what? These two people have found each other. He likes to walk around and say poetry, and she loves that. He says that architecture is like living art or something. She loves that. He takes her to a castle by the sea, and she loves it because she gets to take pictures there. This is what she imagined going to Turkey. I turned my head away, and when I heard castle by the sea, I thought that they were staying in some kind of luxurious, like reformed castle that turned into a hotel that is by the sea. And it is in fact a ruin. It is not a hotel where she gets to relax. I can tell you right now, and I've said it before and I'll continue to say it. When I go to another country on vacaciones, I don't want to learn anything. I don't want to go on any tour. Like if I were to go to Greece and go to Athens and someone is like, do you want to see the Parthenon? My answer is no. I want to see the side of a pool. Okay? I want to go to the steps of Mykonos and get on a boat and be given champagne, wine, or whatever the Grecian like drink of choice is. I don't want to learn nothing. Okay? If I the you know what it is? If I go to Chicago, I'll go to the museum. Okay? If I go to Washington DC, I'll go to all those museums. But if I leave this country, there needs to be a Mai Tai in my hand. There needs to be a rum beverage, and there needs to be sun and buns out. Don't take me to no scenic castle. I don't want to take a picture of anything but a blue ass ocean. Don't ever expect me to go on any tourists, nothing. If I'm in Paris, I'm not going to the Louvre. I don't care. I don't care. If I'm in Paris, in fact, skip that. Take me to Tuscany. I want to go to the south of France. Are there resorts there? Is there a cozy cottage where Manon is the next door neighbor and I can just chill? I want cobblestones, coffee, and wine. Anyways, I went on a long rant because I get so mad when people go to other countries and sightsee. What are you doing sightseeing? If you don't lay down somewhere, put your feet up and get a martini, girl, talking about I feel like a princess. What princess? Which one? Who? Anyways, okay. So she's like, this is perfect for me. And I was like, you guys belong together. We belong together. Okay, sing. Anyways, we haven't had the conversation about marriage. He sits her back and he's like, listen, I know that it's difficult to bring this up, but it's been a while and you've been here with me and we actually haven't had the conversation about marriage. And so I'm just going to bring it up. Like, I know we talked about it at some point. And so where are you at right now? What questions do you have for me? And she's like, well, my biggest question is, tell me more about your debt and what you do for money and all those things. And he's like, well, you're going to have a problem with this, but I gamble. And she's like, what? Archimedes? Like, she is beside herself. And he's like, well, let me tell you how it happened. So after I was a famous football player making so much money from, running around, kicking balls into nets. When I say football, I mean soccer, guys. He's like, I had all this money, so I bought a hashish bar. Then I took a loan from the bank and I got another hashish bar. And I said, fuck it, I'll get another one. And that was in 2019. And guess what happened in 2020? This global pandemic happened and I lost everything. I had to sell everything. I no longer had anything. And it was really difficult. I tried to get a regular job, but I just, used to a certain lifestyle and it's difficult. I was working maybe 24 hours a day and only making $50. Like, it just wasn't for me. And so I took my last $10 and I bet on a soccer game and I won and I was able to eat that day. And that's just what I've been doing ever since. And she's like, you just gamble? And he's like, yep, I gamble. And listen, bar those of you, except for those of you who've had issues with a trifling ass person in your life who has gambled all your money away. I know gambling is an addiction. It can be an addiction for a lot of people. Especially, depending on what kind of gambling you do. Like, even in the US, there are people who are addicted to gambling and slot machines because of the ding ding dings and like all this stuff, right? And however, there are people in this world who fully make their life and livelihoods off of gambling. Where I stand is I know somebody who does that. I know somebody who plays slot machines all over the state and in others and in the neighboring state. And they make money. They made an extra $30K one year from gambling. Now, they had to pay taxes on that, obviously. But people do. And they're not the only person in these casinos making this kind of money. Now, I don't know that you can necessarily do that in Vegas. You can if you are a high roller and you play high and you do blackjack or you do certain things. There are people right now in Vegas who are not gambling addicts who make money from being gamblers. So it is a thing. It is a thing. So he does, though, gambling on football because he knows that sport. He played it, so he understands the game. And he's like, I'm not like that. I when I win, I make sure I pay for my life. Now the money may only last 3 days, but like such is life. So she's like, "Do you gamble all the time?" He says, "Every day." She's like, "I gave you money for Valentine's Day." And I said, "First of all, pause. You gave him money for Valentine's Day? Why? You should have sent him a teddy bear and a card." But anyways, she's like, "Did you gamble that?" And he's like, "Yeah, and I made $5,000 and I paid our rent." And she's like, "Well, I didn't give you that money to do that." Now, here's the thing. You give money freely or don't give it at all. Give money freely or don't give it at all. That is my advice to you. Give money freely and don't worry about what that person spends it on, or don't give it at all. And if you give somebody money and they go and gamble it or buy heroin, you just know for the next time you're not going to give them any money. That's what you're going to do. To be like, whatever. So she's having a hard time with this, which I don't blame her because she probably doesn't know any professional gamblers. And so it is cause for concern if you don't know any professional gamblers, but I do. So I'm like, I can see you being upset. However, I think the choice you need to make is just to not marry him. Just be like, Birkin, I love you. We have good sex. It's not great, but it's good. It can be better, but I would not feel comfortable marrying you. I wouldn't feel comfortable marrying you in the way that you make your money at this moment. So my answer is no. But we can have a lovely time in Turkey and I'll come back and visit you next year. You can be my like international booty call. Like done. But of course I feel like she's gonna probably tell him he's a gambler and he's like whatever and has an addiction and all kinds of stuff when she don't even have to do all that. She just makes her choice and move on. Okay. Now let's move on to our next boring couple, our third boring couple, which is Annalin and Cornelius Bollywog. Okay, so Annalin and Cornelius Bollywog are on the last day of their honeymoon. And they finally have like a little bit of a heart to heart where because they've gotten into an argument. So they first start off in this argument. And he's like, I don't know how much more I can take of this, okay? They're sitting down, they're having dinner. He doesn't want to try the cheese and corn mixture. The person takes a video or a picture. She hates it. He's like, I can't do anything right. I don't understand what's going on. The next day, they're packing up and it's super silent treatment. He feels like when he gets upset or he feels that someone's upset with him, his natural reaction is to leave them alone. And she says, I know that he does that, but that only works when we are 17,000 miles away. When we are 2 feet away, he cannot just give me the silent treatment. He has to try to resolve this. And so she feels a ways about it. And so they wake up angry at each other. And the only thing that kind of breaks the ice is the next morning when they're packing, the people at the resort, they come and they're like, it's your last day. We came to give you a complimentary breakfast. Mabuhay. And it kind of breaks the ice and opens the gates for them to have this conversation. And they do have this conversation. And they sit by a pool and she's giving her best Yoko Ono. And she and him are just talking about like the issues that they're having. And he's basically like, listen, when you get upset with me, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. It feels like you are constantly nagging me and that I'm just not the person that you want to be with. And she says, but it's because you're not trying in our relationship. I want you to be more romantic. I want you to be more positive. And it feels like you just come here and you're just like a crabby old curmudgeon. And the next thing that you do is that you start to throw the fact that you are my husband and you provide for me in my face. And he says, I'm not trying to make you feel like you have to be so grateful to me because of that. I just want you to know that I work hard. And instead of us having a conversation where you start yelling at me while I'm at work and, you just make me feel like I can never do anything right. He specifically says, you make me feel like you're so perfect and I'm just a project that you're working on. And I said, come on, say it with your chest, because I feel like that's a very valid point. right? And so the only thing that he has is that I give you money. So like, why can't I get some kind of like break for being a provider? And I'm like, because you chose this. That's why. I understand why you think you should get some kind of break, but you chose this. This is not something that was foisted upon you. You accepted the fact that you got with somebody who lives in a different country because you could actually afford to be a provider. If you actually brought her to the US or you married somebody from the US, you would not make enough money at the retirement home to be able to provide for someone. So no one is going to give you brownie points for doing a thing that you believe is what should happen, right? You listen to the Red Pill podcast and they tell you about masculinity and femininity. And in any and all those conversations, there is that give and take. And if you can't handle that give, then don't take. You heard it from me. I said it. So I think that his feelings are valid to the point where he, here's why I think his feelings are valid. He's a loser. He's boring. And he's also mildly like negative because he's not happy. He doesn't have the career he wants. He doesn't have the life he wants. He's just coasting by and he is not ecstatically happy with his life. He is Eeyore. He is a Debbie Downer. And they showed all the different like little times where she was trying to be like, oh my God, it's so beautiful outside. He's like, don't get your hopes up yet, piglet. It could rain at any moment. So they do something else. And she's like, how was that for you? Like out of 1 to 5, how was that experience? And he's like, oh, Pooh Bear, it was a 2. You know what I mean? So like he can't even see that he's unhappy and that he's a Debbie Downer and that he's negative. On top of the fact that she is constantly trying to be this ray of sunshine for him, to talk to him, to love on him, but he doesn't receive it in the way that she wants to because he, to me, is probably very depressed and unhappy. You know? Now, that doesn't negate the fact that he's not the husband that she needs. And so the truth is that they should not be together. When he asks her, do you still want to be married to me? She says yes, like a fool, because I think maybe she's like, I do, because I want to get to the US. And then once we get there, we could do whatever. I could get a job. Like, my happiness won't be dependent upon you in the same way that it is right now. In fact, it really isn't dependent upon you right now. But maybe things will change when we get to the US. Like, I'm not willing to give up on whatever this relationship is right now. And that's very valid. She's been married for 6 years to this man. Like, she could give the old college try. Now, will she ever get to the US? No. She would need to get a job. And like Sheena, start ferreting money away so that she could afford her own visa because he's never going to do it. Never gonna do it, 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 never gonna do it. Great, you got it. You said it. You did it. Wow, 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 wow. I know, I heard you. So there we go. Now, he says that he promises not to be negative. And she says, okay, I will cut you some slack. Then she proceeds to make fun of him, calling him a curmudgeonly old man. And they get up. What happens at the end? I feel like it doesn't end on a good spot. There's still some other. Oh, it does. But next episode, we're going to begin with him being foolish again. Because again, he doesn't have any self-esteem and he's a loser. All right. So moving on to our next interesting interaction, because this is a study in gaslighting. I mean, I think, and I've always thought this, so this really isn't the thing that has gotten me to this place, but it's just so self-evident in this moment. And I really, really dislike people who use this tactic as a way to try to make up for the things that they've done. And so, that we're going to talk about Rick and Trisha. So we left last episode off on the cliffhanger where he's laying on this like bed thing, looking like a sad sop, looking like, oh, I'm gonna tell you something. I gotta tell you something, Trisha. But the way I'm gonna say it to you is so that I don't take full responsibility for what I did. But before we get to there, we start out with him on a boat. And he's like, I hope there's no sharks in the water. And then they hike up what looks like 100 handmade, human made, carved in the side of a mountain steps. Now, once they get to the top, it's beautiful. It's like a jungle villa. I'm going to tell you right now, Wahima Lino would have not made it up that step. Well, I would have needed to take a break. I can't even walk up 3 flights of stairs. Now, it's medical with the reason why I can't do so, because I think my fibroids are back. And it's changing the circulation of blood in my body, but that's neither here nor there. I couldn't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. I could not do it. So, and it's hot. I can't walk up 3 flights of stairs and it's negative 20 degrees. Don't let it be a balmy 70. Don't let there be a moment of humidity in the air. Okay, I'm on the ground. I'm gasping for air. Okay, there's too much water and not enough there's too much H2O and not enough oxygen in the air for me at that point. So they get up there. She's like, oh my God, Rick, it's so beautiful up here, Rick. Oh my God. And then he makes her. Where is my picture? It didn't upload. That's annoying to me. He's like, oh, I'm so excited, babe. So here's what I'm going to ask for you to do, which is something. Now, is it racist? It's not racist. It's not racist. It is. Okay. He has her put on what he refers to as jungle outfits. So him and her look like Bam Bam and Pebbles from the Flintstones. And so I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not racist because they're the same race. It feels just really rude. And if you guys can just, what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say here? The fact that he goes to an African nation with like a jungle outfit on, like a Tarzan slash leopard skin, like animal hide outfit on. There is something wrong with that. Right? There's something wrong with it. Because if he were not black and he were to have done that, it would be for sure a red flag. And so it feels like just an super ignorant American making a choice to go. To like have a fantasy of like, oh, we're in the jungle. I'm gonna get us a jungle outfit, which I'm like, what the? It's a jungle outfit. And then she's like, I would rather be naked than wear this. This is actually pretty stupid. And he's like, we could do that. And I was like, please, Rick, you're like weird, like pot belly abs situation is not it for me at this moment. And so they have sex because he is now like, okay, I'll get to it. So the next morning, this is when he's looking like a sad sop because he knows he now needs to tell her. It's been too long. He now needs to tell her like what he did. But he's going to have to tell her in a way where he tries to share blame with her so that it's not completely his fault because it's partly her fault. The reason that he cheated. Here we go. So he says to her, babe, I don't know how to say this. I feel like I don't know how to make this sound like it's a forgivable act, but just know what I'm about to tell you, like I regret it. And then he says to her, remember those 5 days when you weren't talking to me? he says to her, "Hey, Trish, do you remember those 5 days? Do you remember them? I know we haven't talked about them. I know that it was a while ago and we have never spoken of those 5 days since I've been here. Since I have been in Madagascar, we have not once, not twice, not 3 times a lady, never spoken of those 5 days when you did not respond to me. We haven't at nauseum talked about it. I haven't made you explain those 5 days to me at all. In fact, not only like the reason why I'm asking you to remember those 5 days is because I barely do. Honestly, I don't remember those 5 days, the past 5 days that I've been in Madagascar when I talked to you about those 5 past days. So like I want to know if you remember those 5 days. Do you remember them? And she's like, "What the fuck, Rick? Why are you asking me about those 5 days? Didn't we already talk about those 5 days, Rick? Didn't you get mad at me because my friend came and gave me my bike back and you found out that that friend was friends with my man, my ex-boyfriend? Didn't I already explain to you that not only did that happen, but then my brother got into a car accident and we had to pay the man who was in the car accident while he was in the hospital? Those 5 days, Rick? No, I don't remember them. Can you tell me more about those 5 days? Can we please talk more about those 5 days, Rick? I don't remember them. Can you explain them to me again? Just say it, Rick. I don't know why you hesitate." And he's like, when you weren't talking to me? Oh, yeah. So those 5 days when you weren't talking to me, I started talking to my ex because she was the only person who would listen to me. So I decided to book a trip and go to Colombia to be with my ex because I was feeling so lonely and abandoned. And I thought you didn't want me anymore. And she's like, it's like this is the moment. She's like, "What?" Because at first she's like, "What are you talking about, Rick? Just say it." And then she pops up and she's like, "Oh yeah, those 5 days." So, and he's like, "I remember I was feeling so sad and lonely and you weren't talking to me. So, I started talking to my ex in Colombia because it felt like you didn't want to be with me and she was the only person in available in the entire world for me because uh, everybody else had died. And she's the only person that I could talk to, and I was so lonely for those 5 days. So lonely. And it felt like you abandoned me. And I told you that if you didn't start answering me, then I was gonna feel like we weren't together. I, you know, I, she's like, "Rick, did you have sex with your ex?" And he says, "Yes." And she's like, "What?" I He's like, "Baby, this is something we can work through." And she puts her hands in her head in her hands and he's like, "Baby, we can work through this. This is something that we can get now that we've had the like time to touch each other and feel each other in real life." And she's like, "Shut up, Rick. Shut up. Shut up. Shut your pie hole. Shut your stupid, tiny-eyed, dumb-faced. Shut up, Rick." And he's like, "But I thought we could get through it." And then he's like, "I didn't hear from you, and I told you that I was gonna assume that it's over, and I didn't hear from you until a couple of days after that, but I had already booked the flight." And she's like, "So you heard from me?" And he's like, "You told me that I was bothering you, that I was stalking you, so I didn't think it was real. But I responded to you, Rick, and told you I was super fucking busy. Nah? Yes? So, see or no? I responded to you and I told you that I was busy, Rick, and that I would respond to you when I had a chance to. But so you booked a flight?" And he's like, "Yes, I booked a flight, but then we started talking to each other, but I still went anyway." And she's like, "So why didn't you tell me before? And why did you still go on that flight?" "Because we hadn't touched each other yet. We hadn't known what we meant to each other. You know, I wanted us to build something but with you before telling you. And she's like, so do you remember the last 3 days where you berated me and played the fucking detective and wanted to talk to everybody in my life about what happened during those 5 days? Like, you insisted that things didn't add up and that I was doing wrong and that I wasn't the person that I was meant to, said I was. And this whole time, you knew that while we were in a relationship, that you flew to another country to be with your ex and you had sex with her because I got busy and delayed for 5 days. Well, it was online, it wasn't real. So why was, when I supposedly went dark and had to handle my business, you thought I was cheating and you got upset with me for that? But now I'm supposed to just forgive you? Like, which is it? Were we together or not? Because it feels like if we weren't together, you wouldn't have been mad at me and accusing me of going back to my ex during those 5 days. You went back to your ex. And then she's like, she says the thing. And I said, girl, you don't get it. This is great. She says, so it's my fault? You said, oh, I will still go because I want revenge on her? And he said, yeah, kind of. And I said, you know what, Rick? Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Thank you. You just tried to gaslight her this whole time, make it seem like it's a shared issue. But at least in this last moment, he's acknowledging that he went to Colombia to ignore her and to get back at her for what he perceived her to have done to him. And so then she's like, shut your stupid face and don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. He keeps trying to like saddle up to her and be like, baby, we can make it work. And she's like, don't talk to me and don't touch me. Don't touch me and don't talk to me. Get our shit and let's go. He gets his backpack on. She's sitting down there. He tries to come. She's like, back up, back the fuck up, back up. Don't touch me and don't talk to me, Rick. They get inside the boat and he's like, baby. She's like, baby, what? Don't talk to me and don't touch me, Rick. Well, we can work this out. No, we cannot, Rick. Okay? We cannot work this out. What is there to work out? You tried to come at me for the last couple of days, made me tap dance to prove my love to you this whole time, knowing that you had gone to Colombia. Anyways, you could have canceled the trip, but you went anyways. And then she's like, I can't believe we're not going to get together. And then they get back to the mainland and they do a confessional. Girl, she is Buddha-hooing crying. Okay? And he just feels bad. He's like, babe, she's like, don't touch me. I still don't touch me. Don't touch me. She's like, what am I going to tell my dad? And I said, you're going to tell your dad and your brothers and your cousins the truth, and they're going to come from wherever it is that they live in Madagascar, and they're going to beat Rick up. Or they're going to, like, with their fists threaten him until he gets back on a plane and takes his dumbass back to the US of A. Talking about he don't have money to do stuff. Well, you went to Colombia to have sex for 5 days or 3 days or however long you went to Colombia. You had ample opportunity to tell her before you even touched down in Madagascar. I wanted to feel you first. I wanted to consummate the relationship. And I really do think at this point in my life, there should be a law when someone has sex with you under false pretenses. I think that it should be a crime if you trick somebody into having sex. Because it's like, she would not have had sex with him had she have known. Now, if she was like, you know what, it's fine. Like, I wanted to have sex with you, so I would have had sex with you anyway. But like, I think that anybody who withholds the whole truth from somebody before they then enter them or have sex with them, that they should be liable for defamation or some crime when after the fact it turns out that they presented a false face. Period. There needs to be some kind of law. I'm so sick of people taking advantage of each other because they withheld information and the person then feels bamboozled, like I gave myself to you, I had sex with you, thinking that you were this kind of person, one kind of person, and now it turns out that you're not. That is me having sex with you under false pretenses. Like this, we went into a bad deal. Like we went into, there's a turn of phrase I want to use. I can't think of what it is, but it's like we went into this agreement under lies or under something, deception. Like I would not have had sex with you had I known that you had flown to Colombia and had sex with somebody else. So now you owe me money. You owe me restitution of some kind. Because yes, it is a violation. You cannot have sex with me under false pretenses. You can't pretend to be somebody you're not or do something that you know that I would not agree with and then try to come have sex with me. I think it's the false pretenses. Thank you so much. So, anyways, I'm really happy and I hope that she never takes him back again. Now on to the main event, y'all. And this is why they're the main event, because Lisa's so ridiculously foolish that we have to just laugh at her. Okay, so last couple, best couple, the one I have the most pictures of is Lisa and Daniel. Lisa and Daniel. So much happened to them in this episode with Lisa and Daniel. Okay, so Lisa is in the hotel room. Daniel has gone to do whatever. I don't know. So she's like, my head hurts. It's itchy. And the glue on my head is like bubblegum glue. And I have sores on my head. And I said, is there no black lady in your life that can help you to lay a wig? I know it's expensive. And I don't think that's a lace front. I get it. But like tape, could you use some tape? Could you use like hair tape? Like is there another way, something else that you could have done? Who knows? I don't know how long she's been in Nigeria, but she says that she has never worn a wig that long. And I was like, you would have needed to do a lot of like pre-treatment to your hair and like make sure it's good and like moist. I don't know. There are black girls who wear their wigs for a very long time, for a month. And it does itch. Now, I don't know because I've never done it, but like I could barely wear a wig for 8 hours. So like imagining wearing it for 4 days is wild to me. So anyways, she's like, I've already gone through so much with Daniel. Like I was lying to his uncle, and then I got on the phone with Faith, and I had to tell Faith that he proposed to me, and Faith is like, what? No, and she's like, well, there was a whole parade there. What was I supposed to say? He got a whole parade. Mom, don't you think it's crazy that he got a whole parade and he doesn't have any money? Well, I just want to see what's going on with him. And she's like, well, Daniel has been a playboy, and I need to find more information about Daniel. And so I need to find more information out about Daniel. And so then she comes downstairs after she washes her hair and she's freed, and her hair is to touch the sunlight and saw the fresh air. And she's like, I'm going to go meet Daniel's friend tonight, and I'm just really hoping that they're going to shed some light on the things that he's been doing and what he's been up to. So she comes downstairs and he looks at her and he's like, no, she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing. Nothing. It is your hair. He is looking at her like, absolutely not. I was willing to deal with it when you looked younger, even though she low-key, I mean, the wigs look good on her, but I can't say that she actually looks younger. She has the illusion of looking younger from a distance. Once you get up to her, you're like, oh, okay. And he's like, it's weird. She's like, well, let me just get some money. And he's like, she looks older. And I was like, she looks her age. What are you talking about? And he's like, I'm not embarrassed, but it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. He tells her he's not embarrassed, but tells the cameras he's fully embarrassed. Now, this is what I found out. I was scrolling through TikTok yesterday, and she was live, and so was Daniel on TikTok. And apparently they go live on TikTok before the airing of the show and after the airing of the show. So you know they make buku money. They probably make at least $300 on those lives. So I was like, okay, good for them. I wonder what their lives were like after this episode. I wonder what, what was said during their live after this episode. But she's trying to play it cool, like, hey, you need to like me for who I am. And, it's really hot and I have to have my hair exposed. And, and he's like, why didn't you stay inside while your hair was drying and everything? Like, look how you look. And then she's like, you don't think I'm beautiful? And he's like, you don't have to be wearing your wig all the time, but I would prefer if you wear it most of the time. Ah, he's so rude. Okay, so she's like, I see red flags now. And, maybe my daughter Faith was right. He doesn't like me. And he's like, she looks beautiful with her wig. And then she's like, is there anything I should know before we go meet your friends? So she puts her wig back on and they go and meet his friends. And she wants to talk to his friends and get his friends to be honest with her about his playboy behavior. And I said, who told you that makes sense? Who told you that it makes sense to go to a foreign country and meet a man's friends and then expect his friends to tell you all the tea? And the thing is, the reason why I asked that is because it happens every single time. Darcy goes to Bulgaria and wants Georgie's friends to tell her everything that he used to do. It happens all the time. So many people, women specifically, are like, I want to go to this foreign country and ask this stranger's friends to tell me who and what they've been doing prior to knowing me. And I'm just like, would your friend do that? If Dana were to come to the US and sit down and talk to June, would June tell you everything that's going on in your... No. And then she ends up yelling at them, basically, about it. So, and the reason why she yells at them about it is because they're foolish. They, for some reason, they just assumed that she, as a woman, has a different sensibility about herself than I think. It's like they think that she's a rich American man who would find some kind of pride in elevating the either social class and or fashion sense of the poor person from the foreign country. Because the way that they talk to her about the amount of money she's given him is like, don't say that. They don't get it. So she gets down and she talks to the friends. First of all, the friends are Emmanuel, George, and Loveday. Emmanuel, George, and Loveday. He sits down and he says, this is Lisa, my beautiful queen. My beautiful queen from the United States of America. And this is the way that Emmanuel in the plaid, George, I think, is in the yellow, and Loveday, I believe, is in the purple. Okay, they sit down. He's just so happy. She's from the United States. My beautiful queen from the United States. And look at her. She's just so happy, right? And so she's like, I need you to tell me about Daniel and all the things that he's done before he met me. And he's like, he is, the friend's like, he is happy with you. He is very happy with you. Let me tell you why. Because before you, he only had one pair of shoes, one pair of shorts with an opening in the buttocks. And this relationship is perfect because you have transformed his life. Do not divert from that. You have transformed his life. Do not divert from transforming his life. In fact, continue to send him the same amount, if not more, money. Because now he has 3 pairs of shoes, 3 pairs of shorts, plus this outfit that he is wearing here. Because of you. You have changed his life for the better. Like they say in Wicked, change for the better because he knows you. He has been changed for good. Like, that is what they do. And she's like, I don't know how I feel about that because I work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's hard on me. Is he a ladies' man? Well, yes. I mean, he is handsome. He is a handsome black guy. So he is a ladies' man, of course. But you saved him. And she says, but he proposed so quickly. So there is a woman who says that she was talking to Daniel. She called me. It's another woman on social media. And be honest, because if you're not honest, I will walk out and I will leave this country and never come back. She called me and she told me that Daniel was a scam artist. You know what? And I deleted the screenshots and everything from our interaction because I trusted Daniel. But now that I'm here and I'm finding out from his friends that I've changed his life, and now he's gone from one pair of shoes to 3, then I'm starting to feel a little used. Like I'm a sugar mama. And that's a red flag. He may have just been interested in any American woman. And we all laughed because we know it to be true. Now, the fact that they're going live together on social media is indicative of the fact that they're still together or still in conversation. I wonder if TLC has kicked them off because as far as I know, I think especially if the season leaves out on a cliffhanger of some sort, like the couples usually don't go live together until it's been, affirmed on the show that they're still together. So until like the tell-all, like I don't know if they should be like interacting with each other because it just makes it seem like they're together. No? So, because he knew you, he has been changed for good. You have elevated his style so much, his buttocks is no longer showing. She's like, bitch, I work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that he can walk around in a new pair of jeans and a collared shirt. And you're telling me that's the reason why I need to stay with him? That's crazy. That's crazy. But okay, you guys, that's it. Oh, it's 3:20, whatever. It's past my bedtime. You know I gotta wake up at 10 p.m. and go to work because I gotta be at work at 12:30 a.m. It's past my bedtime. I try to go to bed at 2, but it never works out. So I think it's working out though. I'm getting tired. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way tomorrow. It's the tell-all. Hopefully it's the last episode. So we'll get through it real quick. But as of today, yo necesito dormir. So I'll talk to you guys later. Let's put this down. Oof. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Jump in the line, rock your body.